Got an interesting one today for you guys. I've had a call to go out and have a look at some Japanese knotweed. And Japanese knotweed is a very interesting one. It's got a bit of a reputation for being a bit of a thug. And if you've not heard of it before, I assume most gardeners have heard of it. But Japanese knotweed is a bit of a problem. It can take a long time to really control and manage. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to go out, I'm going to have a look. And I have said to the customer that if you want, while I'm there, I can do a herbicide treatment. And they've already said, yeah, that's fine. So I'm going to go out, I'm going to do a video of the Japanese knotweed, and I'm going to show you how to identify Japanese knotweed as well, because it can get misdiagnosed, I suppose, that's misidentified with other weeds, even the lilac tree, to be honest. Some people have thought it was that. So I think this will be quite an interesting one. It's something a little bit different, because Japanese knotweed can be kind of a bit of a scary thing to the customers, because it is a very invasive weed, and now it's quite well known to the point it can be, or it is, brought up on property surveys when you're buying and selling a house. So a lot of people, if they don't know anything about it, they can be quite worried about Japanese knotweed. And it's interesting to think or to know that I've seen some people using scare tactics or scaremongering the customer when it comes to Japanese knotweed, because they say that, oh, you've got to get it fixed, you've got to do this, you've got to do that. And yes, as a homeowner, you do have some responsibility to stop the control of Japanese knotweed onto neighbouring properties, but it's not illegal to have on your property. At the end of the day, there's not much you can do about it if you've got it there, but you have to have some sort of responsibility to stop the spread or have control. And just a word of advice: if you do go out to Japanese knotweed and the customer asks you to treat it, try not to use the words eradicate or kill or completely remove, because Japanese knotweed, it can take up to 3 years to fully treat, and that's all part of a herbicide treatment plan that I can go into with other people if they are interested. But basically, how Japanese knotweed grows is it's not from like a bulb or a general normal root. It's from a rhizome. So the rhizome can stay dormant up to 10 years. And not a lot of people know that. So they think the knotweed is dead, but in fact it's just dormant. So what I'm saying to you is, don't go to a customer saying, I can kill this for you, I can completely remove it, kind of thing, like destroy it, because you're going to open yourself up to a bit of trouble. A lot of these big companies can offer insurance-backed guarantee. I don't do that because I'm not big enough, and insurance companies, from my experience, won't give me that insurance-backed guarantee. I did look into it years ago, but so some of these big companies can offer insurance-backed guarantee. So if they do a treatment plan, a herbicide treatment plan, if it does regrow within 10 years, they'll go back and they'll sort it, and then the process starts again. So it's very interesting. I quite like something a bit different. I've treated Japanese knotweed before, and at the end of the day, what you want to try and do is not destroy it or kill it. Obviously that is the plan, long-term plan, but try not to say that to the customer. What you want to say is control or manage the Japanese knotweed. So it's all about controlling it. With the first herbicide treatment, whether you're spraying or you can do a leaf wiping with a sponge, and you can also do stem injection. So if you don't know, Japanese knotweed is like a bamboo type stem, and it's got a hollow centre. So you have like a little syringe, and you poke the syringe inside the stem, and you inject concentrated herbicide inside the stem. And the idea is that runs down straight through into the stem, down into the rhizome, and starts the treatment process off. And it will knock it, but depending the size of the kind of rhizome, the size of clump of knotweed, that depends on how long you have to treat, the size of the treatment, how best to treat. You know, you've got to think, where is it? So I'm going to show you first-hand Japanese knotweed and show you a few identifying points to look out for. And hopefully you find this interesting, you find it useful and helpful, because you might have it in a garden and you don't know, because you have to be careful as a gardener, as a professional, that you don't spread that plant. So you can't go strimming that plant down, okay, because you're going to spread it. So just remember, from a thumbnail size part of that root or rhizome, a new plant can grow. So if you're strimming it down, digging it up and shifting it, you're moving contaminated soil, you will spread the plant, and therefore you could face trouble. And also, you can't take that plant offside, so you can't put that plant in the brown bin, you can't put it in your waste bin and take it away with you, because it is classed as an invasive hazardous material. So always remember that. Never, unless you are a big company and you've got all your permits in place and you are legally allowed to, generally don't ever take knotweed off-site. Don't put it in the brown bin, don't put it in your bag, in your van, bag in your van. So a few little things just to keep in mind. Okay, so I'm going to go and do the site visit now and show you Japanese knotweed. So I'll see you in a bit. So here we go, guys. This is Japanese knotweed. So you can see it's got like a heart shape or shield shape. Try to say that. Shield shape. Leaf. Zigzag pattern. Got like a red tinge to the stem. You'll notice that the leaves come off opposite ends, so that you won't have them coming out the same node, if that makes sense. So this is more of a new growth. And again, this will flower probably late summer. You can see the canes. They're the kind of canes that you're looking for. And then the rhizome down there. So you can see here, they've already, last year's growth has been cut down. So someone's taken that away somewhere. So you can see there, guys, Japanese knotweed. So there we go. I hope you found that useful. There's a little video there of Japanese knotweed. So it's little identifying marks to look out for on how to identify Japanese knotweed, because it can be mistaken for quite a few different things. And if you don't know, you don't know. So a lot of gardeners out there will know dogwood, which is the bright red stemmed, hard, like hard woody stem shrub. In the winter, when it loses its leaf, it's left with a red stem, and that can be mistaken for Japanese knotweed. Also lilac. This one always baffles me. Lilac is obviously a small tree, but the leaf can be mistaken for Japanese knotweed, and it has been, so it's worth pointing out. But one of the ones that are more likely to be mistaken are bindweed and Russian vine. So bindweed and Russian vine, to us gardeners, we can tell what's what, but they are the most commonly mistaken ones for knotweed. And I get it, because you've got very similar leaves, but obviously how they grow are completely different. Bindweed is just a choker. It's literally just like a herbaceous weed, perennial weed that just grows and grows in the middle of everything, and it wraps around stems, which knotweed doesn't do. And then Russian vine, very similar, but you've got the two nodes So you've got your stem, and then when a leaf comes off a node on there, they come off together, if that makes sense. Whereas Japanese knotweed, you saw, it's like a zigzag effect. You've got one that going right, a bit further up, then the leaf goes off to the left, so they don't come off the stem at the same point. But you saw there how to identify Japanese knotweed. So on the stem you can have like a little red speck. Obviously the leaf, the rhizome, the clump at the bottom, you can see like old wood, old growth. So similar to, I don't know, some docks or bamboo, that kind of thing. So hopefully you found that interesting. I did actually do a treatment on that, and I did a herbicide treatment. So hoping in 8 weeks' time I'll go back and do it again. The best time to treat knotweed is autumn time, after flowering. When the flower dies, that's when all the nutrients get sucked back into the rhizome, ready for winter, and then you spray the leaf then, and then that is a lot more impactful. You get a lot more chemical down into the rhizome. So something a bit different, guys. I like things that are a bit different. Japanese knotweed, it's always the customer then was almost like worrying, you know. She was like, oh, I was told it's going to destroy me house, it's going to do this, it's going to do that, and it's like, don't worry, just calm down, you know, just, it's fine, it's okay, we can sort it. She did ask me, it was like, can you kill it, can you get rid of it? I said, listen, I can't promise killing it. The whole point of it is to control it and to manage it. So it's all about how you word it with Japanese knotweed. And then just never, I know a couple of big companies, I won't mention names, but I know one of them in particular use scaremongering tactics, because I've heard firsthand, and I've heard customers tell them they've gone on there and they almost scare them into a proper herbicide treatment contract. And you know, when you start doing big removal and all that kind of stuff, it costs thousands. So just, you got to think, like, don't scare the customer, just, you know, give them the honest truth and do what you can do. So hopefully you've found this interesting, guys, and so yeah, and I will see you in the next one.